Welcome to the podcast. Rob Sanders.
Clemson is going to kick the shit out of the South Carolina Gamecocks probably for the next 10 years every time they run across each other.
KO Carolina Jackpot Hall.
The South Carolina Gamecocks are weaker than a plate full of piss.
The Rob and KO podcasts.
Let's go.
I'm not ashamed no more.
Normally, I would have my podcast co-host, Mr. Carolina Jackpot Kale Hall, would be sitting right there next to me. But Jackpot is at the South Carolina-Tennessee game. I got a message from him a few minutes ago saying, quote, and we normally don't share our messages on here, but the exact thing from Jackpot was, send me the link. I'll get on when this bullshit is over. Now, he sent me that at 8:44. At that time, Tennessee had like a 10-point lead. The game is in the winding down stages right now. It looks like Tennessee is going to win 66-59. That looks like that'll be your final score as Connect walks off the floor, pointing his hand at his finger. What an idiot that kid is. Anyway, so yeah, we'll talk a little about that as we get set up this evening. Expecting Jackpot, there he is in the Colonial Life Arena. Welcome to the show, Mr. Jackpot. What's up, buddy? Hello, Jackpot. I think you got your hand on your mic, buddy. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on, Jackpot. Your sound's not coming in there, buddy. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me at all, sir? Hold on. Let me check out here. Yeah, so I know that my stuff is sending. I know that that's playing too. We're just not here. Oh, there you go. You got your game. I mean, you muted your mic, Jackpot. Jackpot's got his mic on mute. So there you go. As Jackpot, we get the view of Jackpot there working his way out of the stadium. His mic is muted there, as you can see. As his Gamecocks lose 66-59 to Tennessee. Yes, I called Dalton an idiot for walking off the floor, pointing his hand at his finger. Yep, I did. Or point his finger at his hand. Yep, I did that. I know you Tennessee folks have to like blow him like you blow Nico, but on the other hand, your mic is muted. Hold on. Let me just see if I can send Jack. Mike, you muted your mic. There we go. All right, Jack. Now you should be good to go. There you go.
Here we
You're
are.
leaving the arena. Yeah, what you got, buddy? Tell us what's going on down there.
Well, I mean, that was a big steamy turd. opportunities to win there, but couldn't make any shots in the first half. That was the nail in the coffin. Hats off to Dalton Connect. He's a hell of a player, but this was a
He is.
lot more of another story of what we didn't do, not what they did.
Do you think that the refs kind of fucked you there at the end, Jackpot?
Refs are horse shit. That was some of the worst officiating I've seen in a while, and that's me being objective, you know.
I know there was a play there towards the end of the game. Now the Tennessee fans will think that they're the Messiah. They're the worst fan base in the history of fucking sports. I stand by that, but
Yeah, they are. They're very annoying, and
very annoying.
They were here tonight. It was a lot of them. Wasn't quite as many Kentucky fans as they were at the Kentucky game, but they were still here, no doubt.
So there was a play there towards the end of the game where Michie Johnson drove in and got hit by 3 guys, and they don't call a foul. Those refs sucked a donkey penis.
Yeah, where they sucker punched one of our guys in the face and didn't call it.
Yeah, well, look, Tennessee is a good basketball team. Connect is a great player. They're coached by a good coach. I'm just in the camp of for this game. South Carolina could have hit more shots, and they wouldn't have been in that issue to begin with.
Yeah,
so,
the shooting in the first half was just horrendous. So did us in.
Well, that drops you guys to what 23-6, and it's not like I mean, it was. At the beginning of the season, if I'd have told you were 23-6 heading into the final game of the season, you would have told me I was full of shit. Yeah,
I would have told you, wake up. Some sorts.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's safe to say you're still happy with the matchup or with that team from this year, just not with the way that game turned out.
I thought we was going to cover that spread at the end, too. Colin Murray Boyles dunked it back, but they waved it off. So there goes that.
Yeah. Well, you didn't lose your lunch money, did you?
No.
Jackpot Jr. did.
No.
Jackpot Jr. did. Anyway.
I've learned more than plenty of times to not bet large sums of money on Gamecock sports.
Tennessee fans really should calm down until you actually win something with your coach there. So, hey, congratulations!
You think they can finally make it to a Final Four? Since they've never been.
No, I mean, until they do, no.
Yeah,
I don't like. They have the players to do it this year, and I think that Barnes is a hell of a coach. I was really sad when he left, but.
I'm sure they can definitely make the trip. I just don't know if they'll be participating because I think they'll probably lose before they get there.
So there's that. I mean, it's and winning the NCAA tournament's kind of a crapshoot anyway. Remember last year, Florida Atlantic won the went to the Final Four. And nobody knew who the hell they were. So
did San Diego State.
Yeah. So I mean, you've got. South Carolina dropping this game, final game of the season at home for South Carolina. They will go to Mississippi State this weekend. Bluegrass Sports says, who cares about the regular season title? Look, you Kentucky fans would have been hanging that damn banner.
He sounds just like Uncle Lou talking about how irrelevant the college basketball regular season is. You don't get a good seeding in the tournaments if you don't have a good regular season. So that's completely false.
Let me address these dum-dums over there. Daniel says, I have a problem with Tennessee succeeding in anything. I don't give a shit about Tennessee. You're not relevant, sir. You're not a relevant program at all. You had a baseball team.
I think last night, Clemson would have beat you, Daniel. So put that in your fat pipe and smoke it.
We can talk about your baseball team beating the hell out of everybody, then you can't go beat a small private school in Indiana. We could talk about you never been to the Final Four. We could talk about you being the most penalized program in the world. Those are the things you're good at, so you're not really relevant. Sorry.
No.
I'd rather sit here and talk about Lamont Paris and his basketball team and how he's won more with less. That's the truth. So there you go with that. Anyway, Kentucky's playing tonight. I can't remember who they've got. That's the next matchup there on
Vanderbilt.
Oh well, fuck, that's a shit game. What a shit game that is.
And
So,
to see the thing
there's
is,
that.
you lose to LSU tonight. I think they took it on the chin to Arkansas, which makes that loss look even worse. Their best players are gone for the year or two. I'm pretty sure suspended.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know what he done.
Are you gonna stick around with us as you drive back? That's fine. I just didn't know how long you wanted to.
No, but instead of peeing in the sink, I may have to pee behind the dumpster.
Well, we're not going to get footage of Jackpot's mule. We don't need that.
Mule.
Yeah.
It's more of a My Little Pony, but.
My Little Pony. That's funny.
But no, there was a security camera behind it a while ago when we had to go, and my son said, "Oh well." I said, "Yeah." I said, "That's the same thing with me." I went ahead and risked it. I said, nobody's going to be rolling that footage back a year from now and say, "There's that guy. There's that button on a fur coat that was peeing back there last March."
Hold on a second. Let me grab this for my son.
So disappointing. Fucking disappointing. Huh? We're all right. It's all right. Not a bad loss. It ain't gonna hurt for anything. So
Definitely not a bad loss.
Huh?
Definitely not a bad loss.
If you're over there in the chat talking shit, I can't see you. So I'm like John Cena. I can't see you. No, you can't see. Who couldn't see who? I don't know. Maybe I'm not like John Cena.
Anyway,
Do you know there's a bar down here called Uncle Fester's?
Yeah, it has a picture of you on the side of it.
Yeah, that's what they used to call me back in those smack groups on Facebook. Uncle Fester.
Yeah, I mean, it was. It looks like they put your picture on the side of it. I hope you're getting some money out of it.
It's like, as if I was the only fat, bald fuck ever in the world. I'm sure nobody ever called Butterbean Uncle Fester.
Yeah.
He'd have hit him with that 2-piece.
That's true.
Like he did old Bart Gunn.
That did happen to him. Anyway, Jackpot, real quick here. I'm hoping all these Tennessee fans that have come out tonight and all the Kentucky fans that are in our feed and the Gamecock fans that are in our feed, hopefully they'll sign up for our bracket challenge sponsored by Callaway's Bar and Grill.
Yeah, you just got that started up today, right?
Yeah, I put the link up there. I'm going to put it in the description here. Mark wants to know, does Rob own a shirt with sleeves? Yes or no? Well,
he does. He got married. Didn't you get married? Did you get married in a sleeveless shirt?
No, I got married in a nice tuxedo.
Okay. Was it a tuxedo t-shirt?
No, I thought about that, but the wife would not approve. So I wore an actual.
She would not. Oh, she wouldn't wear one too, or she wouldn't let you wear one.
Well, she wouldn't let me wear one. So there's that. Anyway, it's real simple. It's just like our football challenge. I'm hoping we get folks involved in that. I'm going to post the link over here in the comment section, and you can enter the bracket challenge.
Yeah, that's fun. Everybody fills out a bracket too, guys. So that's a one-time shot. It's not like that football. Plus, you don't have to have any real skill to do it. I'm living proof. I did pretty well in it, but most of the times we've been in there, so you don't have to have any skill to do it. Just fill it out.
Well, but you've done well this season as far as on your bets and everything, Jackpot. You've been all right.
I have. I've done better than I do on the football. And I tell people, I think that's because they put these basketball lines out just like a day before.
Yeah.
So, or the day of. So Vegas and, all the public and whatnot doesn't have a way to They don't sway the money one way or the other in basketball games. I think that might have something to do with it.
Well, it's anyway, I'm putting the link in the description here so you guys can
I'm gonna let
you guys can, join if you would like. Look, it's Jackpot Jr. Hello, Jackpot Jr.
What's
How
going
the hell
on,
are you?
guys?
You doing all right?
Oh yeah, we're doing all right. Took a tough one on the chin, but we'll bounce back.
Dude, you look like your dad with hair. No
Yeah.
offense.
No,
You look
it's no none taken.
You look just like your pop with hair and no beard. we may get you to fill in when your dad's getting old. Just when he wants to take a break or whatever. We'll just let you.
He's getting there. He's getting on up there.
Yeah. Tell us a funny story about your dad. You used to share some silly stuff about him. You got something funny you can tell us?
Well, I know one time on Valentine's Day, he got told a story where he had to poop so bad he crapped in his britches, and they had to throw him out of the back of the truck on a fishing trip down the road.
That wasn't me.
Oh well,
That was my friend.
That was his friend.
Yeah, it was my friend that did that.
Yeah.
And you sunk neck deep in the couch room. Yeah, that's right.
Was it your friend Dale?
No, it was not. It was my friend Matthew Harris, who does the Rise of God show in Greenville.
Yeah.
But we did. I don't know if I've ever told the story before, but we did go looking for picking magical shrooms.
Yeah.
At there was a dairy farm in Powdersville, South Carolina. I think there's a shopping center there now where the new Ingalls is.
Mm-hmm.
But it used to be a dairy farm back in the mid-'90s, and I snuck out there on a plank and then across two old tires that was out there in what I thought was just a bog, but it turned out it was cow shit that they had pushed off into this big gully. And, I sunk down into it.
Holy shit.
It's nasty. Hey, look at this. Look at that. You'll see it pass by right now. Look at this clown right here. Look at that clown. He's got his fucking Tennessee fucking basketball pants on. That's the fake Indiana pants. They're trying to sport there.
He can his outfit is universal. He can wear it to this basketball game, wear it to hunt, or wear it back to the penitentiary.
He can wear it here and he can wear it to the circus. So
there you go.
Let me out.
Anyway, all right. Now we're gonna get some jackpot road rage because those dickheads down there don't know how to drive.
I learned that in Jersey.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is a very interesting show because I thought that I'll be doing it by myself tonight, but Jackpot decided. Pretty cool. Anyway, hey, Jackpot, you have something I got to ask you on the food front. The Rockabilly 864. I know you normally do just like mom and pop businesses.
Yes.
I've had a couple of friends ask me if you would try that Kentucky Fried Chicken pizza thing.
Kentucky Fried Chicken what?
Pizza thing. It's like they took like chicken and then they put like marinara on it and then like cheese.
Yeah, it's called like a cheesa or something.
Yeah. Would you consider reviewing that for the Rockabilly 864?
I mean, I would. I mean, the only thing I'm just not going to do with the fast food anymore. I'm not going to do the whole. We're going to go through the drive-through. We're going to rate the service. We're going to do this and that. It takes too long.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of boring. But
it's just no. I'm just saying, would you do it since it's just a weird ass food element? You know what I mean?
yeah, sure. Sure. I was gonna actually do a review yesterday, but be honest with you, my stomach was hurting a little bit, so I just went home after I got my truck washed, and then I actually took a dump and I felt better, and then it was too late to go out.
Got your fiber up, Jackpot. There you go. The next time that you come to Columbia for a game, we we'll do a review on Callaway's Twice Baked Wings. Since they sponsor the program, give them a little love.
Yeah.
I'll pay for the wings and come and eat them with you.
I was a little bit disappointed in Gamecock Nation tonight. The place was not full. I think it was probably I'd say maybe 16 there.
Right.
But there was visible empty seats. So yeah, that's kind of just. I know it rained. It was raining like pouring out of a boot when we went in, and I absolutely got soaked. But I mean, it's not like you're gonna melt. And I figured people would drift in late, but they didn't. So I think if that place had been full tonight, I believe we would have won.
Well, to be fair, Jackpot, I mean, it holds like almost 19,000 people. I mean, that's tough to fill. And what's his name had a good point there. Spring break. I think they're on spring break this week, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, they are.
It looked like you still had some students there that were raising hell. So
yeah.
That place is intimidating when it's packed full. I was there for the Kentucky game a couple years ago, and it was packed to the rafters because those big blue bastards will bring themselves. They don't give a shit. They're going to pile in, and that place was loud as hell. I mean, it really was.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, tonight, I mean, it was really like the same thing they did in the first game. Don't Connect tore them up. And nobody else did much of shit. But unfortunately, tonight, we couldn't hit any shots that really mattered. I mean, especially in the first half, they were just ice cold. They heated up in the second half, but, again.
To be fair, Jackpot, and, Connect, I was goofing on him earlier, but the kid's a hell of a player. I mean, he's 6'6". He's improved on his defense. He could shoot the ball from anywhere on the damn court.
Oh, he had people in his face. I'm like, God. I mean, at one point, he was hitting them. I'm like, God almighty, I hate this son of a bitch.
Right, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like he really is a really good player. And
but the good thing about it is he's humble, and I don't think he even really talks much and gives like much on interviews. He's just kind of quiet. From what I was reading on Twitter,
He was at the game, like you didn't see it because you were on the way out, but he was doing the whole point in his hand and his finger like this, like for the ring, at the end. But until somebody stops him, he's a good player. He really is.
I mean, it would be extremely annoying if he were like the Bryce Harper type who was just like a douche to your face after he buried a 3-pointer or something, like ran down the court like this.
He finished the night 9 of 23 from the field, 5 from 11 from three-point land, 26 points. He had 31 in the first matchup. So, I mean, he's just killing everybody, to be honest with you. Let's see here. South Carolina was led by Michi Johnson with 18 points. Murray Boyles, who's from right here in Columbia, I mean, he did his thing, man. I mean, he had 11 points, and he's going to be somebody that next season that Harris can build around. He really can.
There's talk of him possibly leaving for the draft. I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe not quite good enough, but if he can make a name for himself in March, I don't know.
Joe Martin from Twitter says
he's got to do something with that hair, though, man. His hair is extremely boring. All right, he's got the I don't know what you call that damn hairdo. That's the Aunt Esther or something. Some dreads or something, man. Put them up on top of your head. That one of them blonde.
I looked
grill something.
I looked up some stuff on Connect earlier, and a couple of NBA scouts wrote down that offensively he's a great player. They worry about him on the defensive end as far as in the NBA because he is 6'6", but he may not be. He's too slow to keep up with a lot of the faster guards, but he may not be strong enough to defend forwards, is what I read. I don't know. He may, who knows at this juncture, but
that's just fucking nuts. I don't understand how you can be a great college player and not be good in the NBA. That's just nuts to me.
Well, I mean, NBA is a different game. I mean, you have to be able to do a lot more different things, but we'll see. I mean, he's from. I think he's one of the best players in college basketball. I mean, in my opinion, he lights
Yeah,
up everything. So
yeah,
there's
definitely.
that. All right. Well, what else do you have from the game that you want to go over before we talk about a couple other little things here as you're driving down the road there?
Nothing. I mean, it's just it's disappointing, but hey, um, it's not a bad loss. So it's they got to rebound from this one. They can't let this one beat them twice. They need to go out Saturday and win that game on the road. That's going to be a really tough one.
At
Mississippi State's a
Mississippi
tough
State.
place to play. They've gotten better. So
Winning at the hump, man. All right, I had a couple things I was going to talk about. I thought I'd throw some of them your way before we got out of here. You cool with that?
without question.
All right, so the first thing that I have in my my list of stuff here is we have man, what on my list just went away. Oh, Johnny Manziel came out the other day and said that he wasn't going to go to the next Heisman ceremony unless Reggie Bush got his Heisman back. Are you on the same boat with that? Do you think that, I mean, personally, do you give a shit, or should Bush have it back?
I mean, I'm not on board with that. He won a Heisman. It was not taken away from him. So why is he interjecting himself into something that that was won on the field and took place when he was in damn elementary school or middle school at best?
That's probably good to go there, but I think the more cowardice part is that the downtown.
Here's the thing. I mean, he's not exactly like a stand-up figure or something. Maybe if Tim Tebow or somebody like that was making that kind of statement, or I don't know. Who's somebody? Derrick Henry or somebody else that's
George Rogers.
Who?
George Rogers.
No, I mean somebody's done something in the NFL. Nobody has any respect for Johnny Manziel.
Well, Joe Burrow.
It's a fucking screw up.
Well, so are you? But do you agree with the premise though? You could be a screw up and have a good point. Should Reggie Bush get it back after the way that things are now?
I mean, are we? You're talking about because they're going back and amending all the rules
right,
that
he got
no.
extra.
I mean, no. Should they? How about this? Let's take all the close games from back in history. Let's go pull out the 3mm tapes, and while we're at it, why don't we just do a fucking instant replay on the damn 1979 Cotton Bowl and see if Alabama really won the son of a bitch? And if they did, award it to them. You know what I mean?
I'm with you.
It's history. I don't know they played the.
I'm with you. I know. I get where you're coming from with that, but that's going to be something that's going to hang towards the end of the season. Me personally, I think the Heisman Trophy is a piece of shit. And ever since they didn't give it to Ndamukong Suh his senior year, when he was without a doubt the best player in college football, period, but they decided to give it to some pussy quarterback, I've just been done with the Heisman Trophy. So the fact that they're in this negative light now kind of makes me happy.
Who won it that year, by the way? Was it?
Oh, God. I think it was it a runner? Oh, hold on. Now I got to look at him.
Sam Bradford?
Yeah, it was Bradford. That's right. Yeah,
well,
so.
What the fuck has he done?
Fireball says you forgot about Peyton Manning. Look. My thing over here is acting silly. Anyway.
There's a whole 30 for 30 about that spiel, isn't there?
Yeah, I agree with you on that, the Tennessee fan over there.
Peyton Manning, Charles Woodson, and who else was?
Well, I mean, those were the two. Ryan Leaf was the other one, right? I think Ryan Leaf was
I honestly think that Tim Couch should have won it.
Why not? But no, in all fairness, I think that Manning should have won it that year. He was the best player, but I don't know what the hell happened behind the scenes with all that nonsense. Randy Moss was in that too. Very good, Devin and Matt. Vire
That's right.
Yeah. Out of,
That's
I
right.
mean, man, Randy Moss was a fucking hell of a player, but
He was nasty.
he was absolutely disgusting the way he played. But all right, so both of us are kind of in agreement on that. What was the other thing that I had that was in the mix in my head here? Oh, Josh Pate he rated all the SEC coaching staffs. Yeah, the Gamecocks weren't one of the top coaching staffs there, Jackpot. But he did say a lot of it had to do with the fact that they just hadn't coached enough games. You think that's fair?
I mean, I don't understand that. I mean, is he talking about the entire?
So,
His defensive coordinator's been there every year, so it's.
well, you have tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, and he didn't even mention them as like a tier 3 program. So, but he did talk about them and say, look, they could be really good or they could be really bad, one or the other. So
Well, he had somebody had a ranking out on the SEC coaching or the SEC programs, and they had them. And I don't know who it was that came up with this ranking. I wish I could find it. I just saw it yesterday. They had them like by 3 criteria. One of them was like coaching staffs and developments, and then there were like 2 other criteria. And whatever it was, South Carolina recruiting. And South Carolina came out at like a 3.0 in recruiting, but or maybe slightly higher. I don't remember. But anyway, but like a 2.3 in player development, which is probably pretty accurate. But they had Arkansas at like a 3.5 in player development, that's fucking horse shit.
Yeah.
They had Mizzou, I think, at a 3.5 in recruiting, and South Carolina at 3.0. Yet South Carolina has consistently out-recruited them every year.
So I think that it's so hard at this point. And Billy made a good point there. We're rating coaching staffs now in March. Yeah. I just thought it was interesting that the comments he made about South Carolina, if you get a chance, go back and check that out. But he was talking about they could be the greatest or not.
Well, what was he said about Beamer several years ago? It could be a home run hire or it could be a disaster.
It could be a disaster. I have that somewhere. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. No, I mean, it was the way that he said it was actually really, really funny. Let me see if I can find it here because it made me laugh really hard. Just the way that he said it. This one's funny too.
I like to bookmark and pinpoint different events in my life by a Gamecock loss. It's like a timeline of suck.
Yeah, that's true. Damn it, where did I put it? I had it somewhere. But that's basically what he said, and it was just kind of just insane when you really think about it. Hey, this could be a home run hire. Kind of funny. Hold on, let's see if I can just pull it up here and play that really quick. Let's see here. There it is. Here it goes.
It's going to be a home run hire in time, or it's going to be a disaster.
That's just funny. Home run hire or just a disaster.
Yeah.
What a mess.
I don't know. I don't think it's going to be either one. I don't know. I don't think 5 and 7's a disaster when you take into account all the just fuckery. But get much worse than that. It could be, I guess.
All right, let's take a call here, Jackpot. SC Paco, what's up, buddy?
Yo, what's going on, brothers? Real quick, I just wanted to know if you guys were part of the tri-state area like I am over here in the northeastern side.
I live in Northeast Columbia.
All right, don't dox yourself, brother. Real quick, I will be contacting the Manhattan City Hall. I don't know about the migrants situation. You guys know about the whole migrants situation over there in New York?
I have no clue what the hell that guy's talking about. I have no clue what he's doing there, but he's talking about migrants and everything. And,
yeah, get rid of him. He's probably trying to throw some damn porn up there again.
That was some funny shit when that happened that night because you and I didn't see it coming. What a mess.
Tell him if it doesn't have a hairy cooter, I don't want to see it.
I don't even know where to go from there on that. You done threw me into a loop there, Jackpot. So there's that. It says tri-state area. I don't even know what's happened.
I don't know what the hell. What's the tri-state area? Is that what? I don't know.
I have no clue. I don't know
There
what the hell
is a place where New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania all come together. But
Sure.
other than that, I don't know. There's what is it? South Carolina, North Carolina, and Georgia kind of come together
Sure.
in a spot.
Yeah.
I think
don't know.
Tennessee, North Carolina, and Georgia come together too. Maybe. I don't fucking know.
What is this, like geography class with Jackpot? What the hell's going on?
Kentucky, Ohio, and West Virginia come together.
Look at you. You paid attention to
You know,
that.
there's a place out west where you can like get on all fours and spread eagle, and you can have a hand in Colorado, Wyoming, Utah, and Arizona, I think it is.
That's like a messed up version of Twister there, Jackpot. It's like you're
Well, no, it's not twisting at all. You're just like down on all fours. I mean, you're pretty much like a crab. Or you're in a 4-point stance is what you're in.
All right, let's welcome Billy to the show. Billy, what's up, brother?
Hey, you're right, Jackpot. My hometown is right on the Georgia-Tennessee line, and North Carolina's just a few miles away. But I think tri-state area.
This cat couldn't scratch it.
Yeah, I think this guy was talking about the North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina tri-state area.
What town is that, Billy?
Mine, Copper Hill, Tennessee.
Yeah, is that near Ducktown?
That's my home. That's where my wife. That's where my dad. Yeah, that's basically my home too. Don't make fun of those names. Those are Cherokee names converted to English.
Right.
And that whole area is the Copper Basin. It used to be one of the biggest copper mines east of the Mississippi. But
isn't that on the Ocoee River?
Yeah, exactly. You know where it's at. That's my home, brother.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I went rafting up there one time when I was younger.
Yep, that's my home. That's my home. That's
nice,
where
it's nice country there.
Yeah. Gamecock Chuck, great game to you too, sir. That was an awful great game. And I'm going on record here because I told Twisted Rooster in his chat. Put it on the what is it? The Book of Accountability?
Bookcase of Accountability.
There you go. Come Monday, when the rankings come out, South Carolina will move up in the polls at least 2 positions.
Well, then you got
this win did not hurt this loss did not hurt them that bad.
Yeah, they got to win Saturday.
Well, I'm telling you, Monday they will move up at least 2 positions. Put that down.
Yeah.
And that kind of hinges into my into the next thing I was going to talk about, where what SC Dealmaker put out something saying the Gamecocks don't get respect because of. Did you see that video? We were talking about like the AP voters may be racist because
what?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, and I wrote back to him and I was like, brother, you'd have a leg to stand on if Hubert Davis and Shaka Smart weren't in the top 10. You know,
right.
I mean,
well, we've discussed it, and Jackpot's hit on it too, lightly.
Yeah,
at the beginning of the season, South Carolina's non-conference schedule was kind of weak, and then they didn't put away people, but they came back by beating Tennessee and Kentucky. Obviously, now they just have to finish out and have a good showing. But they're in the dance, so that's all that matters. That's just like I was talking with BVD and them a few minutes ago. This SEC regular season banner don't mean crap. If you get in there in first round, you're out. So what?
I think
to me, they got to make the Final Four. If not, it's just another season.
I think that's what you have to deal with now as a Tennessee fan. But I mean, South Carolina, in my opinion, is playing with house money. I mean, They're 3-6. They were picked to finish last in the conference, and they look like a Sweet 16 team. They really do.
Lamont Paris will be the SEC Coach of the Year.
They said tonight that this was the biggest turnaround ever in the history of the program. So
right, he'll be the coach. And like I say, he used to coach just a few miles from here in Chattanooga at UTC. I mentioned that before. He was a very popular person, very popular coach. And South Carolina got a great coach in Lamont Paris. You really did.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not saying that blow smoke, but he's a fine person. You're gonna get some quality people.
he coached at UTC, coaching the Roundhouse.
Right. And he got them in the field of 64.
Now
But see,
now
people
they
don't
call
realize
it the
he was an
now they
assistant
call it
coach.
the McKenzie Arena.
Yeah.
Why can't they just leave shit alone?
Well, McKenzie's from here in Cleveland. He was a big multimillionaire that donated and built a new stadium for him. He's a big millionaire here in Cleveland. But yeah, Lamont is a great person, and if South Carolina will just leave him alone, tonight's the first time I've seen him in years show any not anger but disappointment in the rest because they missed that call on that 3-point shot.
I think that he is the second best coach at South Carolina right now, behind Don Staley.
Well, people don't know his resume. He coached at Wisconsin and was an assistant coach that took that team to the Final Four. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
That's what I'm saying. He's the second best coach there behind Don Staley.
Yeah.
So
he's
if they can open up their pocketbook and give Shane Beamer an extension because he won 2 games in November a couple of years ago, and they don't open up their pocketbook for Lamont Paris, they need to just shut that fucking arena down.
Yeah. Well, if they don't and they keep the door shut on him, Big Ten wants him everywhere.
Yeah,
he's a Big Ten guy.
I think they'll do it. I really do, but I don't think it shouldn't be. It shouldn't even be without question. I mean, it should be. What do you need, Coach? You need extra money for extra assistance. Whatever the hell it is you need, let us know. That's what they should be doing.
And like I told you before, in the past 3 weeks, in the class of 2025, he's already sitting in first place. I think he's got 2 or 3 quality kids coming to the program.
Right.
So just leave him alone, give him some money, and let him do what he does.
Yep.
I mean, I like him because he's low key and he's,
he's like I liked Coach Martin. I'm just to be honest, I thought getting rid of Coach Martin was kind of silly. And then the first season with Paris last year, where he had Gigi Jackson, who's tearing it up for Memphis, by the way, and they didn't win a hell of a lot of games, but I'm like, man. But then seeing how he's just really leveled that program out.
Yep.
I mean, he's doing a hell of a job, and I mean, even if he needs to get his money.
And I want to be real careful here. What I'm about to say, Rick Barnes. If you go back over the years and look at his roster right now, he very rarely has a player from a public school. He gets his players from parochial, private schools, and it's like the Vescovi guys. It's nothing for him to go to Europe or somebody and find someplace. But he doesn't very rarely take a person from a public school. Very rarely.
Hey, do you think that? I mean, I know that they won the SEC regular season title tonight, but
La D.
Well, no, I'm just saying. Look, give them credit because they only crown one of those every year. But you think that Barnes is kind of maybe the Tennessee fan base is like, look, this shit winning in January and February is nice, but your ass needs to start winning some games in mid-March.
Well, that's a true statement, and if he doesn't get past the 3rd, 4th round, 16, but they ran Quanzo Martin off, and he got him to the field of 16.
Yeah, but Quanzo Martin's not a good coach. Let's just be honest. Went up to Mizzou and was the shits.
Yeah,
Barnes has been great wherever he's been.
Yeah,
so,
he was at Texas for a long time. I think he coached some kid named Durant. Wasn't it Durant?
Yeah. Good, but I just wonder if if they don't at least make the Sweet 16, if it's going to be like, hey, buddy, it's time for you to go off into the sunset.
You know, I try to keep my ear to the ground here. I really haven't heard any of that. They're satisfied with him because he runs a clean program for what it is. So uh, I don't know. It when you get into basketball, it you know, you put 5 guys out every given night, and that's a cliche, but it happens. Look at South Carolina; they not taking anything, but they beat Tennessee and Kentucky both. Now, would you have bet on that jackpot? Would you have bet that they would have beat both Tennessee and Kentucky?
No.
No.
Well, but there's someone. I was going to send this to Jackpot. Somebody wrote something about, South Carolina's 20, 23-6, but they're flawed. And this guy wrote this whole column about it, and it bothered me. But he had two things that kind of made some sense. He said they had 2 losses that made 0 sense, with the Georgia loss at home and the LSU loss at home. I think if you line them up against Georgia and LSU 10 times, South Carolina wins 9 of them.
Exactly.
In fairness, but they go on the road and they lose by 40 at Auburn, and then they lose by 27 to Alabama. And maybe the styles just don't match up. But the way this guy wrote it was, they're a flawed team in that if they get behind at all, it's hard for them to come back, which I thought was interesting.
Well, I didn't catch the game till about halfway through
They just came back Saturday.
first half. How long did Connect set out Jackpot in that game before they put him in?
I don't. Probably 5 minutes or so.
Right.
Let me give Chris some credit here over in the comments section, because it's crazy this question is asked on Barnes constantly, but never about Cal, who hasn't made it out of the first since Obama was president. No. I agree with you on that. He hasn't been the guy that has gotten it done lately, but he's got national titles. He's been passed around in Sweet 16. Calipari.
That's a good point.
So, I mean, he's won championships, and Barnes hasn't. So I think that's why,
Yeah.
Got to win those national titles, and then Barnes has had teams where he could have. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, you get in the bracket, you get in the wrong bracket, and it. Well, just like last year, didn't Kentucky get put out in the first round? First game.
Yeah.
They lost.
That's the game that Calipari didn't come out and give a. So we'll see.
Barney Ross was legit pissed at that. He stopped giving them money after that game, I'm sure.
Lost St. Peter's.
Big Barney Ross gave Calipari money?
Of course he did. Big Barney
Ross the front door.
He didn't come out and do a press conference after the game or something like that?
No, he didn't.
Right.
He didn't even do an end of the season press conference. He just said, "Fuck it, I'm going to Bermuda." He did. No, I'm serious. He went on like some vacation or some shit. I don't give a shit. We're not going to talk about how I lost a team full of smaller dudes from St. Peter's. We're going to go to
that
Bermuda.
must be nice. Go out and lay a big giant flaming turd in your last game, and then I get to go get rewarded by looking at a bunch of 20-something half-naked girls on some remote tropical island. That's wonderful.
Yeah. But that's why a lot of these big schools in basketball won't play small school. Now, football, it's different because that's a money sharing thing. Tennessee will play East Tennessee State, and that will be their revenue for the whole year there. But basketball, just like when I can tell you right now, Clemson nor South Carolina would play Davidson with Stephen.
Clemson's played Davidson.
Curry was there, but they weren't playing with Stephen Curry was there. I bet.
Nobody played them when Stephen Curry was there, but I'm saying
it's amazing that he's in the heart of basketball country, and nobody recruited him because he was too small.
But they don't anymore.
Stephen Curry is too small to play at North Carolina or Duke or.
There's people miss on those players all the time. The kid that John Morant was offered first by Murray State, and then Frank Martin offered him late. I mean, he's from South Carolina, and he's like, "Screw you, I'm going to Murray State." So I mean,
Well, that's
people
like this kid Dalton Connect on the team this year. First year, he was at a junior college, and then went to North Colorado State University, and then he transferred here. Nobody knew his potential, and he's going to be the SEC Player of the Year,
Well,
and
you gotta
probably be the first or second round draft pick.
give credit to Coach Barnes on that or Coach Barnes and his staff for finding this guy and turning him into what he
Behind
is.
the gym.
Yeah, a diamond in the rough, a pearl.
Yeah.
What is it?
Pearl.
Jackpot says about Columbia, the pearl of
the pearl that sits in the middle of the oyster that is the
There you
state
go.
of South Carolina.
There you go.
It didn't feel like the damn pearl tonight. I was fucking mad when I got down here. I couldn't find a damn parking space. The parking garage that I usually go to was inaccessible. I had these damn sawhorses in the middle of the road. You couldn't get around it. I was mad.
Oh,
and then
how old
in
are
all
you,
the busy
Jackpot?
intersections, I didn't have any police presence. None.
How old are you, Jackpot?
Old enough.
No, how old? Let me explain something to you. I knew a guy one time that used to, a team in Orange would lose the game, and he would burn the shirts. He'd take a razor to the decal of cars, take the license plates off, bend them up, stomp them. It ain't worth it, brother. It ain't worth it, brother.
Yeah, they used to do that. When I was the manager back it's been about 20 years ago, of the Winn-Dixie store in Gaffney, South Carolina. They used to use the parking lot. They would park there for the football games because the stadium was like a quarter mile up the road, and there were some people from Union that parked in the parking lot, and they got their damn decals stolen because the store wasn't in the best of areas anyway. Somebody stole their decals and broke the flags off the car. Then they came in there bitching at me at like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night when the game's over, and I'm like, well, what the fuck do you want me to do about it?
Yeah.
I mean, you should have took the shit off. I mean, it comes off. Take
No, I'm
it off
saying
and put it in your
I would
car.
take.
You realize you're in the ghetto? I mean, hello.
I take the big power tee off the car, take the decals off, throw them in the garbage, throw the shirts, burn them. I ain't do that no more.
I remember going to. I got to work the first Outback Bowl or the second Outback Bowl
Barney
with
Ross.
Ohio State and South Carolina, and Michigan was down there for a bowl in that same area. And I remember like some Ohio State fans just pissing on a car that had a Michigan, pissing on the Michigan logo right in front of everybody. I'm like, what the fuck?
My dad for 20 years was a usher at Neyland Stadium for 20 years.
They were probably mad. I'm sure they had lost the game to Michigan. They were playing in a bowl against the Gamecocks. They probably had lost.
When I retired, I come home and I went up with him to watch a Tennessee-Florida game, which my youngest son he was born in Gainesville. He bleeds blue and orange Florida. But anyway, after the game, I actually seen this. Florida fans were at the top of the stadium. They had set up there in the nosebleed section and drank beer all game, and they pissed in the cups. And after the game, were dropping the cups on people coming out of the stadium.
Oh,
that's the honest God's truth.
Real talk.
I've seen
If somebody tries to piss on me, we fight.
They were still in the stadium up top and dropping the.
Damn, no, hell no.
But I used to live about a mile from Ben Hill Griffin Stadium when I was in the Air Force. I was on recruiting dude there, and it was unbelievable things that you see and stuff. And
all right, I got a question for you before you get out of here, Billy. Big Barney Ross, he thinks you're awesome at Tetris and loading a dishwasher. Is that true?
I don't know what Tetris is, but I do know what a dishwasher is.
As always, we appreciate you, sir.
All right. Good night, sirs. Enjoyed the show. Good game, Jackpot.
All right.
Good
game. There you go. Billy joining us. Thank you, Billy. Anyway, yeah, there's what was the other thing that I had?
Like in and out. Did he say where did he say they filled the cup up with piss and dropped it off the upper deck?
Florida Stadium.
The Florida fans do that?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not shocked at that behavior. That's high. I mean, hell, if you drop that on hit somebody right, that could do some fucking serious injury. I mean,
Like, you think throwing piss from up high could do some injury? I don't know. I mean,
the cup hitting you, I'm talking about if it was full.
if it's like a paper cup, that's not going to hurt you.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, I mean, that is a good point, though.
One of those big stadium cups, if it was filled with piss and it dropped straight down and none of it spilled out, not nary a drop of piss spilled out, that thing hit you in the head and it was dropped from 100 feet, that could do some damage.
Clay with some flowers for you, Jackpot. He says, I'm not going to give you much grief over the game. At least the B-ball team has a coach, unlike Bummer, but I will say the Cox played a good game. And he says, go Vols. So I guess that's kind of a backhanded, you guys are pretty good.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. What else? Good point, I guess. Yeah. All right. So, Jackpot, you think you guys are going? I mean, am I far fetched? Am I thinking that you're going to go to the Sweet 16? I don't think that's that far off, to be honest with you.
I mean, we'll see. I mean when you get in there, it's a slippery slope, my friend. You drop one and you're out. I mean, if you think about it, you only got to win two. I mean, and they'll be favored in the first one at least. They should be.
Yeah, they're projected at like a 5 or a 6 seed right now, but
if they're a 6 seed, them 6-11 matchups are very tough.
The 5-12 is the one where they always talk about. There's going to be a matchup.
Okay, damn it.
Well, I'm just either one, buddy. 5-12. Oh, would you talk about? Oh, talking about the driving? Okay, sorry. Someone asked how long your drive is, Jackpot. I don't know, about an hour and a half, something like that, 2 hours.
No, I'm at on the other side of Newberry now, so it's less than an hour.
Let's bring from the Kentucky Blue Balls channel, Mr. Big Barney Ross in. What's up, buddy?
Hey, I got a question for Jackpot. You think South Carolina will go farther than Kentucky and Tennessee in the tournament? And I'll get off here and listen to your response.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, they've faced a lot of adversity this year, so I think they can definitely go further than Kentucky. I mean, Kentucky just seems to disappoint. I mean, they've lost a lot of disappointing games this year. I feel like they kind of fold up like a cheap lawn chair at the worst times. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Tennessee's probably built for that, built a little bit better for a run in the tournament. So.
I think that someone asked me about Clemson the other day. Clemson won last night against Syracuse at home, won by like 15 over Syracuse, but they dropped the game before to freaking Notre Dame. What a disaster Clemson is.
Yeah, that was kind of rough.
Kind of rough. I think Clemson, the ceiling for them is to win one game in the tournament. I think that's what's going to happen to them.
Yeah, I had a little parlay thing going Saturday night, and they ended up losing it for me. And there was a Clemson fan that asked me, said, Jackpot, if you're dumb enough to bet on Clemson basketball, then, you kind of deserve to lose.
I think that Clemson fan was me on the show. Don't bet on Clemson, Jackpot. What the fuck is wrong with you? I think I said that to you. As a friend, I'm telling you, stop betting on Clemson hoops. They will disappoint you. Joe Higashi has a legit comment here. He goes, are Jackpot and Rob just fans of football and basketball, or is it like Gamecocks, football, wrestling, golf, track, and field, a.k.a. all the sports for the college? I personally am one of those people where if Clemson is playing Tiddlywinks, I'm going to cheer on the Tiddlywinks team. I think Jackpot's the same way with the Gamecocks. Am I right?
We've got a good Tiddlywinks team.
Of course you do.
I think Gamecock Sporty's on it.
Yeah, he probably is. But no, the fans that are like, I'm a Clemson.
I was too. Wait, no, I was on the pocket pool team. Never mind.
Oh, that's funny. I'm a Clemson football fan, but I'm a Duke basketball fan. Those fans piss me off. And I love Mama Wendy Wyatt, who's a friend of the program. She's the biggest Gamecock fan you know until fucking North Carolina rolls a basketball out, and then she loves North Carolina basketball. I don't get it. Pick one damn team, y'all. Holy shit.
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense.
Doesn't
I
make
mean,
a lot
I guess you could pull for them too, but I mean, your main team should be the Gamecocks. If you're a Gamecock football fan, you should be a Gamecock basketball fan. And if you want to like, it's kind of like me. Like, I want to see Mizzou, and like I have some other teams that I like too in college football. But like, if they're playing the Gamecocks, there's no question who I'd be pulling for.
I think that, like, if you're a Gamecock football fan, after all the shit that they put you through, you know, I mean, you should stick with the rest of the programs if you're going to deal with all what all the football team's doing for you, you know. So, Bird to Fly says Clemson might go to the NIT. I don't think so, sir. I think they're going to go to the NCAA tournament. That's what it's looking like. So they have quality wins over. They won at North Carolina, and they had one other win that was pretty good too. They won at Memphis.
They beat the Gamecocks.
That's looking like one of their better wins of the season, to be honest with you.
Somebody had them up there. They had their games listed, their big wins, and they had at North Carolina, at Alabama, and then a fucking game against TCU. I'm like, what about the damn win over South Carolina?
Well, I mean, yeah, it should be that too. But looking at the looking at the schedule here, they beat. By the way, Billy Cole was talking about Davidson. Clemson played Davidson this year, by the way, just for giggles. They beat Boise State, which watch Boise State in the tournament. They're one of the better teams from their conference. They beat them by 17. They went to Alabama and won there. They won over South Carolina. That's a tournament team. TCU's a tournament team. They lost to Memphis by a basket on the road. What was the other game? They lost to Duke by a point. Won at North Carolina. They won at Syracuse. That's not really a good win.
They lost to Virginia, right?
They lost to Virginia by a point, lost to Duke by a point, and it's like that whole net rankings thing. I don't understand it, to be honest with you. Let me look at the net rankings.
There's too many variables in there for me. That's pretty much comes watered down after a while.
So I'm looking at Clemson right now is 24th in the net rankings, but they've got wins over teams that they got to win over two of the teams that are in the top 10. So that's pretty good. They got to win over number 7 in Alabama and a win over North Carolina at 10. So I don't know these net rankings. I don't understand them at all. I mean, I tried to read about it, and it's like, hey, you know, it's computer metrics and everything else. I don't know. I miss the days of, hey, we just had a bunch of guys that were sitting in a smoke-filled room, and we'd bring them cheesecake and hamburgers until they figured out who made the tournament. You know, you bitch a little bit, but all these computers getting into the mix, I think, throws it off.
I'd be too interested in the cheesecake.
Yeah. Blake says South Carolina and Clemson should play each other twice. I think they play way too early in the season for basketball. Where are you going to play then? I mean, you can't play in the middle of the conference schedule. That's not. I mean, 2 matchups, play a home and home.
South Carolina and Clemson used to play twice every year in basketball. Back in they stopped that back in the mid 2000s.
Right.
Like when the SEC expanded and the ACC expanded, they wasn't enough room on the schedule to do that anymore.
Big Bonnie Ross says you better not count out the one-eyed Jack Pitino and St. John's. Yeah, I mean, if they get in, we'll see. Blake wants to know what our thoughts were on the baseball teams after the series this past weekend. Like, I gave Jackpot shit, but those 2 teams left their damn souls on the field, and Clemson won both games, but Clemson could have lost both games. I mean, if we're just going to be completely honest and take off my my nice orange Clemson hat here, Clemson could have lost both of those games without a doubt. So,
I mean, I'm no expert, but it just seems to me that South Carolina, I mean, it seems like they were just trying to hit a fucking home run every time they came up there and not being patient. So,
Gamecock Chuck with a good comment. A lot of runners left on base. One thing I can say, South Carolina, they weren't very timely with their hitting, but man, they had pitching on top of pitching over the weekend. I mean, they kept throwing the left-hander that started on Saturday, holy shit with that guy. He struck out a shit ton of players. I mean, he was really, really good, but Gamecock struck out a lot of themselves too. But I think that the ACC is kind of shit in baseball this year, but that South Carolina series might be the toughest series on Clemson's schedule.
yeah, they. I think in the game at Clemson, I think they had loaded the bases with like one out, and couldn't score. I mean, you just can't do that.
Right. Got to get at least one when you do that, you know.
Yeah.
And I just didn't do it. So, but South Carolina, I think, will be right there in the end around my birthday, and in May when they have the regionals, and we may end up with. We could end up with 3 teams in state having a regional jackpot. Coastal's going to be there, South Carolina, and then in Clemson too. I think all 3 could host this year, to be honest with you. So,
yeah,
well, there you go.
Centerville must not be in the mix. I know we took care of them yesterday.
The sad part is that you and I are old enough to remember when the Citadel actually went to Omaha.
Yeah, they used to be really good. I don't know. They kind
of fell off a little bit there.
Yeah, they don't have the program they once did.
I mean, it's kind of hard to recruit that too. I would think anyway. Oh goodness, bow hunting.
When was that when the Citadel went to Omaha? Was that like 1990 or something?
I think it was 1991. Let's look at that team here because there was I remember one of the players on it. Let's see here, Citadel, CWS. Real quick here. Yeah, the 1990 Citadel Bulldogs. Let's look at this. Let's look at this thing, jackpot. Hold on. So they finished number 6 in the country. They went 46-14. 1 loss in the SoCon.
Damn.
Let's see here. I'm looking for their games. They lost to, here are their losses. They lost to NC State on February 17th, 5-3. Then came back the next day and beat them 12-1. In March, they blew through everybody. They had 2 losses at the end of March. Kent State. And then in April.
Just say the record.
Well, goddamn, I'll give you their record. I'm sorry. Talking to me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, asshole.
I'm talking too much shit.
Talking to what? Oh, I thought you were talking to me about just give their record, asshole. I thought you were talking to me.
Now, what are you doing? I mean, why are you attacking me, sir?
I thought you were attacking me for giving you the Citadel rundown, man.
No, God, I want to hear it.
Oh, okay. So I'm looking. Let's see if I'm trying to see if they played. Did they play South Carolina? That's what I'm looking to see if they.
Sure, they did.
I'm looking to see if they played them. They didn't play them in February. Western Carolina. South Carolina beat them 13-12.
Of course.
At Sarge Fry.
Loses to the Gamecocks.
Then South Carolina beat them at College Park 5-3. Yeah, and then let's see here in the regional play, they were in the Northeast regional. They were. That's crazy. Hold on. That's silly. Let me go back to that. Let's see here. In the College World Series, they were the 7 seed. They won the first matchup over Cal State Fullerton, 8-7. Lost to the LSU, and then let's see here. What was the next game after that? Doesn't tell me. But they only had 1 loss and they were out. What the hell? Doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
They lose 2 games, double elimination.
Oh yeah, they lost to LSU twice. They lost to LSU in the opener, beat Fullerton in the second game in 12 innings, and then lost to LSU in the in the second round.
Damn, LSU was kicking ass 35 years ago too. Yeah.
Georgia won the whole damn thing that year, Jack.
Yeah, I seem to remember that.
Yeah, so there's that. Let's see here. A couple other comments before we get out of here. Will Sam Pittman be fired this next year? I think his seat is the hottest in the conference. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, they were terrible last year, and then you look at it, they didn't bring anybody in.
Yeah.
I mean, you really think bringing Bobby Petrino in as offensive coordinator is going to, I don't really see that. I don't see that being a big enough boost to keep his job. I mean, I see them finishing like the same record. Maybe worse.
Who's on the hotter seat there, Napier or Pittman? That's a good point there, Matthew.
Probably Pittman.
I think so.
Because I think Napier has a mulligan this year with that schedule.
I mean, they haven't really been that great with him there. I don't know. We'll see. I do think he'll get another year, but I think Pittman's going to get, like, for some reason, there's folks talking about Arkansas could be a surprise team. I'm like, what? From what? What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, what are they basing that on? They haven't brought anybody in that's. I mean, they brought a quarterback in from Boise State who threw more interceptions than touchdowns.
Bird to Fly says Beamer needs to win 8 games in the regular season or he's on the hot seat. Do you agree with that, John?
No.
I think he's got to win. He's got to go to the bowl game.
That's overachieving.
Have they looked at the schedule?
Yeah, that's a tough schedule. I mean, if he wins 8 games, I mean, I think not only would he not be on the hot seat, I mean, I think he'd be getting another. They might give him another damn extension.
If they win 8 games, I think that's a hell of a season, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah.
Fireball says, "Will Petrino be the Pittman replacement?" I don't know how that would work. I mean, the guy was literally hired a volleyball player to be his quote unquote assistant.
You don't really see them promoting the coordinators to head coach very often when the head coach gets fired. I mean, they're part of the same staff that fucked it up. Why would they,
I don't know. I mean, they should. Petrino's got like the football mind, and I got to interview him twice at ACC kickoff when he was up there with Louisville. And
yeah, he was terrible.
Yeah, but I mean, you just get the vibe from him that he's like a used car salesman. That's the
Probably
that's
pretty accurate.
With him, so I don't know, but he seems to be able to call plays. We'll give him that. He wasn't all that great at A&M, though.
No, I mean, Jimbo Fisher still got fired, so
yeah.
There you go.
From my conversations with him, Matthew, he seemed like he was not. It wasn't like somebody you'd be like, oh, I think that I'd like to go hang out with him and have a beer. He wasn't like that kind of guy.
Yeah, I don't think he's a Dabo type.
I don't think I'd want to have a beer with Dabo either. I think he'd be trying to ask me about.
Dabo would probably bring in O'Douls.
He probably would. He'd want to baptize you at the bar. That's probably what would happen with Dabo. I don't know if I want to have a beer.
I think you might need to be baptized at a bar.
What's wrong with that? What coach would you want to have a beer with not named Shane Beamer there, Jackpot?
Shane? No, I don't want to have a beer with Shane Beamer.
Well, who would you want to have a beer with? There has to be a coach.
I'd probably have a beer with Sam Pittman. I'd probably have a beer with Eli. I might have a beer with Josh Heupel.
Yeah.
Mike Elko. I don't know. I'd probably have a beer with Brian Kelly. Probably have a beer with Mark Stoops.
I think Brian Kelly would want to we'd want to have some bourbon. I don't think he drinks beer.
Well, I'd drink the beer while he drank the bourbon. How about that?
Fair enough. My coaching list, I would want to. I would probably go. I'd have to think about that for a minute. Dino Babers. I'd have a beer with him. I bet he'd be cool. Go down the list there. Rob has a quarter zip bias. Welcome to the
Got
program.
plenty of time to go have a beer with you now, too.
Good evening. How are y'all doing?
Where the hell have you been, sir?
Hey, man, I haven't been able to pay the phone bill.
Shut up.
You know how it is, man. How are y'all doing though?
Lisa,
good. I hope you are.
Lisa, who watched the show, said that if you were having issues with power, she would help you with the power bill. I don't know about the phone bill, though. Your thoughts on that? Did you leave us, sir?
But apologies if I go in now. I'm driving right now, but I saw y'all were live, so I wanted to call in. And I'll go ahead and give my take on who I'd have a beer with.
Who you got?
I'm going past coaches, as a matter of fact, and I'm going Ed Orgeron, baby.
Oh yeah,
go Tigers!
You'd be banging house all the time. Big Barney Ross says if you drink with Stoops, don't drink his bourbon. It sucks. Yes, that's important.
In and out. I don't know if y'all can still hear me?
Yeah, you're like floating along there, buddy. So we're gonna let you go because we can't hear you. But thank you for calling. Greg Atkins, Jerry says, Jackpot. Is that on your list?
I don't think he probably needs to be drinking a beer.
Yeah, his liver seems like it may already be damaged. So there's that.
Yeah.
Another coach. I'd like to drink a beer with Phil Fulmer, but have him tell me all the stuff that actually happened at Tennessee. That might be good. If you were honest, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Jack Leggett. I'd like to have a beer with him. I bet he drinks a damn case a day now. Well, anyway, Gamecocks lose at home. They fall to Tennessee, drop to 23-6 on the year. Still a good season for them, Jackpot. You got to go and watch this game with your son, which is good because this may end up being one of the best Gamecock seasons ever, man.
Yep, that's exactly why I decided to go today.
There you go with that. All right, well, do you have anything else you want to go over before we get out of here?
I don't believe I do.
That's good. Well,
I'm entering the country where I got to kind of watch out for some deer.
Be careful, and we will see you guys on Sunday.
See you guys. Thank you.